Hello, everyone. Welcome to this evening's webinar with Formulite. I'm Zoe, and I'm one of the campaign managers here at Birchal. And before I introduce Glenys and Matthew from Formulite, I would very quickly like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land Birchal is based on, which is the Wurundjeri and people of the Kulin Nation. And we pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. These webinars are a fantastic opportunity to learn more about the incredible businesses on the platform, Birchal, and hear directly from their founders. And today I'm joined by Formulite's founder and CEO, Glenys and non-executive director, Matthew Bamford. In today's session, Glenys and Matthew are going to take us through a presentation, which will be approximately 15 to 20 minutes, all about Formulite and where they've come from, what they're looking to do with their capital raise, and then we'll switch to a Q&A session. So if you have any questions for tonight, there is a question box down the bottom of your screen in Zoom, and we encourage you to put through as many questions as possible. And if by any chance we don't get to all of them, we'll make an effort to get in touch with you individually to answer your questions. We are also recording tonight's session, so that will also be available after the presentation. Very quickly, and Glenys, I'll get you to change your slide, please. I'll just talk about Birchal's role very quickly. So Birchal allows people to invest in early stage companies like never before. And through this type of capital raising, companies aren't limited to a normal shareholder cap or investment amount, which is seen in other fundraising methods. So it allows hundreds, if not thousands, of new investors to join companies and help them grow immensely. And as the crowdsource funding platform, Birchal acts as a gatekeeper to ensure that the investment offers that we host are compliant with ASIC laws, but also that people are able to invest in Australia's small businesses and startups. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Glenys and Matt to give their presentation, and we'll head into the Q&A session after that.
Thank you, Zoe. Most of you, I suspect, know Glenys already from the website or involvement with Formulite. My name is Matthew Bamford. I've been with Formulite for approximately a year, now formerly director on Formulite. I am currently also the CEO of Torres, and I've been there for about 7 years. This is a non-executive director role for myself. My experiences in FMCG and consumer goods for the last 25 years plus. And I've been on the manufacturing and also on the retail side with Coles supermarkets, also with the Buller Ice Cream, Fonterra, and PwC. Tonight we give you an overview of the industry, the markets, products, and the team inside Formulite, and what we hope to achieve with our sort of growth plans and investment over the next couple of years. As Zoe said, please feel free to ask any questions you want throughout the process, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I'll hand over to Glenys now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt. Hello, everybody. Just a bit of background on the journey that I've been through with this business. My first career was as an MRI radiographer, and I left this field after 3 children and then worked in a general surgery practice. It was here that I was fortunate to be able to follow the weight loss journey of patients undergoing bariatric surgery. I started picking up on some negative feedback from patients with relation to the shakes we were recommending as part of their pre- and post-surgery diets. Patients were experiencing nausea, bloating, a lack of satiety, that's the feeling of fullness, and didn't like the taste or texture of the meal replacement shakes. We found that this was starting to compromise their compliance and surgery outcomes. So I looked for a quality alternative in the market and discovered that there was none. This essentially marked the start of my Formulite journey and a path that I never planned on taking, but have found extremely rewarding. I knew that Formulite needed a point of difference, and that would come from premium nutrition and premium packaging and service. So for a number of years, Formulite was actually based out of my home, with pallets of stock being delivered to my garage and orders going out from our doorstep. As the company grew, I was able to outsource fulfillment to a third-party logistics provider and employ staff to help with the day-to-day running of the business. Now, ongoing collaboration with dietitians and surgeons around product formulations and new product ideas has been the fundamental key to the success of our products. Formulite has been on a steady growth path, and we have seen this growth take a sharp inflection upwards during FY23. This can be attributed to the increase in online sales driven by a robust digital paid marketing campaign, which is providing a healthy return on investment. We're also seeing the positive outcomes of year-long negotiations with prominent Australian pharmacy banner groups. Formulite is seeking capital to support the expansion in the pharmacy market and to tap into the unexplored opportunities for sales in the fitness and corporate sectors. The premium quality of our products resonates across a number of customer groups, from the patient with a high BMI requiring a high protein diet to the time-poor individual looking for a convenient high protein supplement with a great taste profile that fits into their busy lifestyle. Pharmacy groups have identified the need for a premium product to appeal to a new customer segment. Knowing Formulite is not another Me Too product instills confidence that it won't merely duplicate existing offerings in pharmacies, but will in fact enhance sales by attracting new customers. All of our products are produced locally in Victoria, and this reduces supply times and gives us greater flexibility around product development and formulations. It's common knowledge that obesity rates are on the rise in Australia, with the percentage of overweight or obese Australians forecasted to rise from 65% back in 2015 to over 75% in 2025, which isn't that far away. So to put this all in context, this means that by 2025, 3 in every 4 Australians will be classified as overweight or obese. As a result, the customer base for those interested in weight loss products will expand. Health consciousness is also predicted to increase, resulting in people seeking better nutrition. According to the Treasury report, a forecasted increase in the net disposable income will increase society's appetite for premium weight management products. The demand for gyms and fitness centres is also rapidly growing and forecasted to return to pre-COVID levels. According to Moda Intelligence report, the meal replacement market in Australia is worth $3.7 billion. Australia is amongst the fastest growing regions in this market and presents a strong investment opportunity due to Australians proactively monitoring their diets, the demand for nutritional protein bars, and the expansion of specialty and online retail stores. A notable shift in the health snack market has been reported by IBIS as customers increasingly gravitate towards convenience or portable snacking. This market in Australia is estimated to be worth $2.2 billion. Formulite's marketing focus and product development centres around 4 target markets with some overlap. The medical necessity market was the starting point for Formulite. Formulite has gained credibility from their meal replacements, which comply by the strict criteria set by Food Standards Australia and New Zealand. The effectiveness of low-calorie diets to induce weight loss has been proven in numerous clinical trials. For this reason, many healthcare professionals prescribe this diet to their patients for weight loss. Indications for a low-calorie diet can include pre-bariatric or orthopedic surgery, fertility, type 2 diabetes, and sleep apnea. We've seen a following amongst the younger fitness enthusiasts looking to manage their weight, improve their protein intake, and support their fitness goals. For many of our customers, our products are less about weight management and more about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. Convenience is a non-negotiable amongst many of us as lives seem to get busier. Our bars in particular cater to this market of time-poor people by providing a meal on the run that's not only portable, but high in nutrition and taste. Formulite's competitive advantage can be separated into 3 categories: nutrition, science, and access. Nutritionally, Formulite shakes are seen as a market leader with over 33 grams of protein per serve, 10 grams of carbs, and 3.5 grams of sugar, as demonstrated in the graphs to the right, with the meal replacements compared up the top and the protein shakes down the bottom. The more protein a product has, the more maintenance there's going to be of muscle mass when on a low-calorie diet. And the less carbs, the more likelihood the patient is to get into ketosis and achieve weight loss. With no added cheap fillers such as milk powders, solids or sugars, and the absence of artificial sweeteners, Formulite shakes are nutritionally superior to many of our competitors. The shakes also support gut health with the addition of probiotics and digestive enzymes, another unique property to our shakes. All of our products are gluten-free and either low or contain no lactose. So by combining great nutrition with an appealing taste profile, Formulite products are enjoyed by many. At Formulite, we know how important scientific data is to substantiate our claims, and we've been fortunate enough to participate in a number of clinical trials. One such trial, headed by Professor Wendy Brown, concluded that our shakes are a viable alternative to one of the world's market leaders. A common question from many healthcare professionals is the accessibility of our products. And whilst they love the nutrition, many of their patients prefer to purchase in-store rather than online. So over the years, we've managed to expand our physical footprint to over 350 stores, with an additional 250 stores expected by the end of this year, and a total coverage of over 1,000 by the end of 2024. We're also sold in over 20 medical centres and dietetic groups. This slide highlights the premium ingredients found in our highest selling products, the meal replacement shakes. With more than 70% more protein, 40% less carbs, 62% less sugar than our biggest competitor, and added probiotics and no artificial sweeteners, Formulite shakes are a standout in the weight management market. Formulite's products can be divided into two categories: meal replacements and high protein snacks. Our meal replacement shakes and bars account for 90% of our sales. And each of the 5 flavors of shakes come in economical 14-serve tubs as well as convenient sachets. The bars are available in a box of 7 or 12, and the 12-bar box is shelf ready, meaning it can be opened and used to sell the bars individually in stores. The meal replacement protein bars contain 20 grams of protein per serve and are by far our most talked about product owing to their impressive taste and filling nature. Customers are impressed by the bar's texture, flavours, and the lack of protein aftertaste. These bars personify convenience. 10% of our sales come from our protein snack range. The Lupin Soup range was developed to complete our product range with a savoury option. With 3 flavours and 12 to 22 grams of protein per serve, 2 grams of carbs and 1 gram of sugar, our Lupin Soups are seen as a keto-friendly food. The inspiration for our Recovery College protein came from a conversation I had with a dietitian who requested that we develop a dairy-free, tasteless protein source for her patients that had a full complement of amino acids to aid in muscle repair and recovery post-exercise and surgery. Not only were we able to achieve this with our recovery protein range, we also included electrolytes. Now, new product development is one of the core aspects of our business, as it helps to reinvigorate the brand at each launch. Next year, we have plans to release another flavour of bar, as well as a guilt-free, high-protein mousse range. One of the most enjoyable parts of this journey for me has been employing staff and engaging consultants and advisors. This team of highly skilled individuals are responsible for the success of Formulite. Our marketing team is comprised of Andrew Ford in the position of Marketing Director and Laura Hart-Hobson, our Marketing Specialist. James Norbury looks after administration, customer support and wholesale orders, whilst Lee Crosswaith manages the ordering of merchandise and reports on sales. Our sales team is led by Tony Alessi, who is supported in field by Rebecca Hatsis in Queensland and Catherine Ottobrino in Perth. Louise Fisher ensures our packaging is compliant with health regulations and all of our claims are permitted. Nicholas Katsambiris and Ephraim Ridikos manage our online presence. From the very first pharmacy group in 2017, we have progressively partnered with more and more pharmacies, health food stores, doctors and dietitians to provide customers with the opportunity to purchase our products in person. We have been very selective with whom we partner with, as they are essential ambassadors for our product. Our strong focus on training and educating the industry and consumer is a perfect fit with community pharmacy and the main reason why we haven't ventured into supermarkets. Today, we currently have 392 outlets, comprised of the pharmacy groups Ramsay, National Pharmacies, Good Price Pharmacy Warehouse and Chempro. We have confirmed ranging with Pharmacy Choice, Health Save, Chemist Outlet and Wizard Pharmacies, and are close to finalising details with the Platform Alliance Group that consists of Chemist Discount Centre, Pharmacy Alliance and Advantage Pharmacy. These partnerships should bring our pharmacy footprint to over 1,000 stores in 2024. Formulite has also been invited to present to Terry White Chemma in early 2024 as a part of their weight management review. Ranging is confirmed with a pharmacy when both parties agree on trading terms and the supplier is accepted as part of the group's core ranging. Depending on the compliance within the group, the number of stores that follow the ranging can vary, and this is why it's important for us to have a sales force on the ground in each state to facilitate the uptake and fast track the rate of sales, as well as provide pharmacy staff training and education. I would like to address the trending subject of appetite suppressants like Ozempic. At Formulite, we have harnessed the popularity of these GLP-1 agonists as an opportunity to highlight the importance of meeting your protein and nutritional requirements when food intake is reduced. Within pharmacy, we educate staff on how to explain to customers on appetite suppressants the importance of maintaining their muscle mass during weight loss through the inclusion of Formulite protein supplements. I'd like to now refer to Matthew, who is going to talk about investment to support growth.
Thank you. So obviously we'll stick with our core investment of the digital as well. We won't leave that. This has been a sort of key pillar to grow the business and is also one of our higher GP percentage area channels. But the short-term significant growth in the business will come from the traditional bricks and mortar pharmacy channel. And what we intend to do is get national ranging of our field force, as Glenn's mentioned before, the importance of having boots on the ground in the bricks and mortar national coverage to ensure that compliance of the planograms, ensure that stock's on the shelf, ensure that sales staff in the pharmacies are trained and we're front of mind. It's an old retail expression, but stack it high and let it fly is still applicable today. MPD will also be invested in as well. We want to bring new products to market, especially with, as I refer to as the bricks and mortar trade or the pharmacy banner groups. They want to see MPD regularly, and we'll support that, and they'll also increase our shelf presence as well. Also trade as well, and what I mean by that is trade marketing spend or co-op spend in the old speak. That is investing in the banner groups with their catalogues, in-store promotional activity, demos, tastings in store to really drive foot traffic in the pharmacies and also sample our product. If we can get our product into more people's mouths, we get repeat purchase. And it also ensures longevity with those banners group. The other one also we want to do is increase our inventory holdings to support the delivery of the bricks and mortar channel. Also increased orders and volume from our suppliers will unlock volume rebates, will contribute to our bottom line and our GP percentage. So we're quite optimistic about that as well. So that sort of covers the investment going forward. That's it from myself until questions, I believe now.
Great, thank you. Everyone, once again, I'd just like to remind you to please put your questions in the Q&A box. It's just down the bottom of your Zoom screen. And my screen has gone funny. 1 second. Here we go. Cool. So Anthony. Okay, I was talking to Anthony about microphone issues, but it's all good, Anthony, I think. He said Matthew sounded a little bit distorted, but I joined on my own computer and everything sounded fine. Anthony, we'll try and get a recording to you after this, and hopefully the recording's far more clear for you. Jerry has asked, this may have been canvassed already, but why look to this kind of investing? Why not debt markets or private equity? And I'll let either of you choose to answer that one.
I think the private equity would probably want a larger stake in the business that we want at the moment. The success we have had with Glennis driving the business, we still think there's a lot of growth to have through that channel. And obviously we're prepared to give up 20% of the business. And there's more, I can't go into any more details yet until the offer document comes out, but that's our preferred approach. It allows us to stay more independent and gives us greater flexibility down the track.
Cool. I might just add to that as well that crowdsource funding is a great way to also play a part in shaping a business. When you've come in as a crowd investor, you are able to email the founders with your suggestions, especially if you're a loyal customer too. So it has that unique aspect of it as well. Annette has asked, how price sensitive are customers?
Over time, we have had to make price adjustments, especially post-COVID. And we've found that with our first price increase, I would say 4 years ago, we expected, a downturn in sales, but it was quite the opposite. We seem to retain our customers. They are very much committed to the brand, so we don't have too many issues at all when it comes to increasing prices.
Cool.
We see a high level of repeat purchase and loyalty through our data, digital data.
Cool. And I know that when you were forming the product, you did a lot of research and spoke to people about what they wanted to see with the product and also the branding. Do you continue that to this day?
Oh, without a doubt. That's feedback is gold to us, and that we're always looking for customer feedback from healthcare professionals who hear directly from their patients how they're finding the products. So yeah, it's really important, and it also helps shape our new product development. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Jessica has asked, is there a minimum investment amount? And I can take this one. So just for Jessica and everyone's awareness, we're still in the expression of interest stage. And the expression of interest stage really helps us gather data around the interest that there is in, potential investors, but also how much the company might be able to raise from the crowd. So we're still in the information gathering stage, and, we wait to finalize the details and the terms of the offer until almost the day before the offer goes live. So you'll find out what the minimum investment amount is when the offer goes live. And I encourage you to express interest in the campaign so that you are able to stay up to date with all the comms about when the offer will be open. And my answer always also goes to Scott. So Scott's asked, how much capital are you looking to raise? And once again, the terms of the offer and the minimum and maximum targets that we come to will be guided by the expressions of interest that are put in through the platform. So once again, the terms of the offer will be available when the offer opens to this day. No, sorry, I forgot what I was saying halfway through that. Terms of the offer will be available when the offer opens. Sorry. And also, I forgot to mention it, but I'd just like to mention to everyone that you're also able to upvote some of these questions. So if there are ones that you prefer for me to answer, please upvote so that I have an idea of what you would like answered most. Next one's from Andrew. For long-time customers, variety and taste is important. I'm glad to hear that the bar range is increasing and the addition of desserts. Will the shake range also increase?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. We see increasing the shake range in the near future as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's exciting. Any, have you had any demand for particular flavors, or we're not giving that away?
Well, no, look, I can say there's always a demand for a berry flavored, but unfortunately, there aren't any flavorings out there that are palatable enough, because we have very high standards here at Formulite. So
good to hear.
when my food scientist is able to source a flavoring, a berry flavoring that is acceptable, we'll definitely head down that path. Otherwise, we might go for something a little more savory. So we're looking into that, definitely.
Nice. And if people do have suggestions too, there's also a send message button on the Birchal platform. So you're able to send emails and messages to the founders yourselves if you would like to engage and have a chat about the investment opportunity, but of course to just also chat about your interest in the brand and upcoming products potentially. This one's from Anthony, and Anthony's asked, what percentage of the meal replacement market is Formulite?
I'm going to jump into this one, and this is a really hard one to calculate because we get different sizes of the meal replacement industry depending on what it is. Protein shakes from gyms included. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. We like to think that we are very, very small. In percentage terms, it would be single digits if it is 1%. So the good news is there's plenty of upside for that, but we're very hesitant to give a firm number because of the definition of the category and who defines it. So I don't mean to be vague on it. If someone can give me a report, I can calculate it, but every time we get a report, we get a different variant and different definition of the market. And hence where we sort of were talking about before, the sort of different markets of the bariatric, the gym lover, the wellness, the time poor person, they all overlap. So we're very hesitant to do it, but we are at the very premium segment in a very small volumes at the moment. There is plenty of upside from that, if that's the underlying question.
Thank you. Jerry has asked, have any of the formulas been patented or trademarked?
What I will say to that is we have exclusive agreements around IP and licensing. Each of our suppliers is different, but basically no one can replicate what we have got. We either have an option to own it, what we will take up once a certain volume is hit, or we have agreements in place. So our supply is protected. No one can replicate us without doing a whole MPD and R&D process quickly. And that's where, obviously it's taken 3 to 4 years to get where we were at the start. And now we've got that perfect, well, we think it's perfect. We are seeing the growth come through. So we're protected from a supply IP point of view. Cool.
Do you see any upcoming issues maybe with the IP or defensibility of the IP or patents that you have?
I take a very sort of, from a branding and IP point of view, from the brand, no, obviously that's all trademark and patented. We're not worried about that side of things. From the manufacturing side, if someone took our product, broke it apart and tried to replicate it and had enough time and money, yes, they could do that. But then they wouldn't have the brand to support it and the sales force and the position that we've got at the moment. And that's what, that's where we're at. So I'm confident that we have a good premium market position that we can defend from a supply point of view and also a brand point of view.
Cool. This one's from Natalie, and Natalie says they're a loyal customer here. And how much control do you have over production?
100%, basically. So it is our recipe, it is our quality assurance over the top of it. Yes, it is contracted out. but it is very, very tightly controlled and at both ends. So, we control from a quality point of view. Yes, we do. And we know exactly where it is. The manufacturer can't subcontract it out, and it's all Australian based.
And I apologize if I missed this detail, but are the products manufactured in Australia?
Yes, they are.
Natasha's asked, can we receive a copy of this recording to re-review tomorrow? Yes, Natasha, it will absolutely be available. Please give me the morning, but the recording will be available and you can review it if you head back to the Formulite company profile page on Birchal. There was a button there that currently says register for investor Q&A, and they'll be updated with the link to watch the investor Q&A again. So please stay tuned for that recording. Anthony has asked how profitable is the company currently?
We are in a position in this half that we will be breaking even and cash flow positive. And all other details will be in the virtual brochure and offer document.
Cool. Yes, and
sorry, can I? No.
Sorry,
I'm not allowed to say any more than that, am I?
No, sorry. Yeah, all the financial details
basically
will be available in the offer document.
To the question of why now, listen, we're EBITDA positive or forecasted to be this month or next month. Our sales have hit that critical point. And that's where we sort of decided to go more crowdsourcing funding, plus the confirmed orders and opportunities that are coming through with the Banner Group's expansion. So we've hit a nice inflection point on a sales point of view and also a profitability point of view.
Cool. And yeah, sorry everyone, the financials will be available in the offer document when the offer goes live, so you'll be able to review them then and ask any further questions during the offer stage as well. This one's from Gail, and Gail's asked, is the savoury range going to increase?
Most definitely. That is a common request that we get with regards to our range. And further down the track, we'll be looking at savoury bars, definitely.
Thank you. We are just coming up to our final few questions, so I would urge everyone to put theirs in, please. And I also have a few more questions I'd like to ask the founders before we finish. But Jerry has asked, sorry, I didn't even read it before I started asking, but Jerry has asked, will updated and consolidated financial reports be available? EBITDA, profit margins, projected future revenues, cash flows, etc. So Jerry, in the offer document, there will be financials that must meet accounting standards for crowdsourced funding. So there will be profit and loss statements and a financial report for the last financial year. In regards to projected future revenues, ASIC, which governs the crowdsourced funding space, has pretty firm views on projections and projections pretty much, and it can be considered misleading and shouldn't be part of promoting this investment opportunity or any investment opportunity. So companies such as Formulite, and in fact any company that does choose to raise funds on Birchal, is not encouraged to share projected revenue figures, just due to the fact that we are operating in a smaller space where there is a higher risk in your investment. But please, once again, check out the offer document to look at all the financials that will be available when the offer opens.
I'm not necessarily now, but I'm quite happy to meet with anyone to go over our growth plans in more details, obviously considering no detailed financials, but if anyone wants to have a one-on-one session about where we think we can go and the store counts and things that we've sort of disclosed in here, I'm happy to elaborate on that further one-on-one. So
Thank you. Vikram might have missed this slide, but Vikram has asked, who are the competitors in this space?
Yeah, sure. So the competitors, there's two spaces for the that's the meal replacement area, and those competitors include OptiFast, OptiSlim, the Lady Shake, and BioSlim. And then within, if we were just referring to protein shakes, which Formulite is considered a protein shake as well as a weight loss shake, as meal replacement, you've got, IsoWhey, Vita Diet, Isogenics, Fat Blaster, and things like that. But as I mentioned earlier in our presentation, Formulite's actually in a segment of its own. So if we were to ask what are Formulite's competitors in the premium market, the premium weight loss market, well, today in pharmacy, there are no competitors. And that's why the pharmacies are picking us up, because it completes their range and it appeals to another customer segment.
Thank you. Annette has asked, is the priority to expand distribution of current range or R&D?
Short answer, both. Immediate growth plans is around the distribution, because the pharmacy banner groups are wanting to range us as soon as possible, but we can do R&D and distribution at the same time. We hope to launch 2 to 4 products every year. Some will be rotational SKUs to keep it fresh on shelf, and some will just be growth and expansion. And generally we'll test things out online before we put them into the bricks and mortar channel. So
great.
And that's part of the growth, so we can actually do both at the same time. That's why we have a sales field force and also an R&D team internally to do that.
Thanks, Matt. Statement from Melissa. Melissa has said, great products, and I'm excited to be part of this opportunity. Thanks, Melissa. And thanks for joining. Another question from Vikram is, which is the highest selling SKU? Sorry, I think the question is, what is the highest selling SKU across the entire range?
And that would be our mixed shake sachet box. So it's a box with 7 sachets, 2 chocolate, 2 vanilla, and 1 of each of the other flavors. And its growth is equal across both our online and in-store sales.
Great, thank you. We've got more products. Oh, and Vikram also just followed up by saying it is an amazing product. Thank you, Vikram. Sorry. Anthony has asked, what is the company's 5-year plan following crowdsourced funding to build the company with extra capital with an eventual sale of the company, or to share of its profits a year out? So I might let you answer the question for the 5-year plan, and then I can take the one about planning an exit or returning dividends.
What's 5 years plan?
Sorry. So the question is, what is the company's 5-year plan?
5 years plan is to grow as much as possible, and then obviously expand into more categories as we can. If you're is it an exit strategy that you're thinking around, then we'll come and discuss that with the shareholders and have the best option for everybody. But it's probably one of those conversations further down the track. But we are looking to make sure it's more liquid for the shareholders down the track, so we can either exit, have a buyout, or other options. So, yeah.
Cool. And once again, I would really encourage everyone to just jump into the Birchal Help Centre, which I linked in the chat when everyone joined the session, because there's a lot of information about how investing in companies through Birchal and crowdsourced funding is different to other investments you might be used to making. So very quickly, I just want to touch on how dividends might work. And that is so that many companies that make a crowdsourced funding offer are either new, early stage, or rapidly growing ventures. So this means that many of these companies are in an early stage and may not be profitable, or they may choose to reinvest any profits back into the business to fund their future growth, rather than pay those profits to shareholders as dividends. But the way you're able to find out about what the company's policy on this is to also have a read of the constitution and also the subscription agreement when the offer opens, because that will give you more details into how dividends would or are going to be planned to be used. And then also I'd just like to touch on also exits, or if I can find it, sorry, but pretty much once again, it's not reasonable to, while companies may have lots of plans and objectives for an exit, it's not, it could be considered misleading to say when the exit might be taking place. So I just want to say that there might not be a when, but there could be an if and a what. Sorry, that was rather long-winded.
I'm happy to have a conversation with anyone separately about any other matters.
Cool. Cool. Another statement. So Nabil has just said, it is a fantastic product. I use it. I recommend it to all my patients, and we have lots of customers coming in for it. Thank you, Nabil. Jerry has asked, further to Anthony's question, does the plan to expand, is there a plan to expand internationally?
There is no plan in the next 12 months, but we are open to the idea. And we have been in some general conversations with an international company that has contact up in Asia, Singapore market, Hong Kong, sort of expat community to start with, and also potentially New Zealand. So it is definitely on the cards. Exact plans in the next 12 months, no, but we are starting to make those contacts of how we would do it, either through an agency or partnering with somebody. How do we optimize it, basically? So yes.
Great, thank you. Anthony has asked, when will the offer go live and what is the period to make a decision? So Anthony, the period to make a decision starts now by engaging with the expression of interest and coming along to this investor Q&A session. The offer is planning to go live in the next 2 weeks or so. I would really encourage you to make an expression of interest so that you're part of the company's contact list. And so when specific details about the offer going live are released, you will be the first to know, and you'll also have the opportunity to be one of the first people to invest in the offer. And yeah, once again, you can make your decisions by reading the offer document, which is obviously available when the offer goes live. And you can also read the company constitution and the subscription agreements that are available also when the offer goes live. And the opportunity to engage with the founders is also not off the table during the offer. So if you do wish to have a further conversation and have things clarified, there are many opportunities to ask questions now and also during the offer stage. Annette has asked, so we asked what are the best selling SKUs, and Annette's asked which SKUs are the most profitable.
I would say the meal replacement shake tubs.
Oh, okay, great. Cool. All right, well, those are kind of the final questions for the night. Unless any others come through in the next second or so, I might look to finish up the webinar. Matt and Glenys, do you have any final words you'd like to share with everyone?
Thank you very much. As I said before, we're happy to have a conversation with outside of this informally and share more detail on what we went into tonight. And I say the offer document, I hope will be out as soon as possible. And once again, once that comes out, we're still available to have conversations with anyone when it suits yourselves. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out to follow our journey and support us.
Great. And as mentioned, everyone, the recording of this webinar will be available to everyone tomorrow. So please keep your eyes peeled for it. Make sure you express interest in investing in this company so that you get all the latest communications, and also you have the opportunity to be one of the first people to invest when the offer goes live. In the meantime, there's a send query or message button to the founders and the platform as mentioned. And yeah, thank you for coming tonight and asking all your questions. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.